Okay, people, let's see if we can dig something up in this overhunted spot. What would you say that is? I have a guess. We found a red Jeep. The lid to a little teapot. Another car. A Mercedes. Indian head penny, people. We're gonna call that jewelry. We found ourselves a war nickel. Got ourselves a coin spill. That's an old button. And we have a drawer pull. Well, hi there, friends. Steve Okino here in north central Pennsylvania with history in the hand metal detecting. And behind me was the site of a huge store in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It finally burned down. So unfortunately, there's been a lot of bulldozing in the area and stuff. Now, here's the deal. Everybody and their brother has been here in the last 40 years. This town was a thriving metropolis in the mid and late 1800s. There were two mills. There was a grist mill, a couple of sawmills. There was a blacksmith shop, store, school, church. And this house was here on the 1863 map. So I know that right across the road from where the store was would be a likely spot to find targets. So our challenge today, should you choose to accept it, is let's see if we can use the roast beef technique, low and slow, to find something that the others have missed. Come on along, let's see if we can get some history in our hand. Our first target is a pull tab, but that's all right. We know we're gonna find that stuff. What we're looking for is something of value or interest that the others have left behind. I stopped in here just for maybe 20 minutes after I was coming through when I was cutting firewood back in the spring. I was here maybe 20 minutes. I found a couple of wheat pennies. I found a token from the White House in Washington, D.C. I found like a necklace thing from the Thousand Island Bridge going from the US to Canada over the St. Lawrence Seaway. And I found a solid brass glass cutter. So you never know what you're gonna find. We'll see what we can dig up. I'm in this area right here. This was a chicken coop for a while, but I know that there was, I think I got a penny here. I know that there was a lot of activity before the chickens were here. Yeah, that's a penny. I see Lincoln. On to the next. Well, can't all be treasure. I don't know what your ratio is. Mine is about 95% trash, about 4% interesting, and about 1% treasure. So here is a very heavy chunk of lead, and I'm going to save that because it's good to get lead out of the ground. Okay, there's a 74, 75, 71, high, thin. Not sure what it could be. All right, 73, still in the hole, so it's down there pretty deep. What would you say that is? I have a guess. I think that's a flatbed trailer. So yeah, that's a little toy car, and the two axles that we found are the trucks off of the back axles. They would have gone there and there. Yep, cool beans. Driving those big rigs. Well, I thought we were going to find the tractor to that trailer, but instead we found a red Jeep. So my guess is the kids were playing out here. I'm often surprised by the different variety that Tootsie Toy actually made. I found a battleship in one of my other videos. I found a red battleship from the 40s, so that was kind of cool. So this is interesting. It might not have just been boys. Doesn't that look like the the lid to a little teapot. It's glass, so it didn't set off the detector, but I just happened to find it when I went digging for what is in this hole. Oh, another car. Oh my. Ooh, this one's blue. It turns out that this is a Tootsie toy. This is a Mercedes, according to that. And then Tootsie Toy USA. So, interesting. If I did clean up that Jeep, it's possible that that's a Tootsie toy as well. But that's pretty cool. All right, on to the next. And that is not a Tootsie toy, but that's been in a severe wreck right there. All right, looks like a battery connector. Well, I wish I had a nickel for every time I found a combustion chamber from a kerosene lamp. The wick would have come up through here. Now, what do you think that is? Huh. What do you know? I see the outline of Lincoln. Boy, one thing I notice about this Pennsylvania soil, my goodness, does it ever chew up copper? Okay, Indian head penny, people. Right here. I know I've seen 4 or 5 guys detecting here through the years, even before I started detecting. You know, all you ever need to do is make some sort of overarching statement like, our Pennsylvania soil really eats up copper. And then you can go ahead and a few feet later, right where the chickens have scratched, you dig up an 1899 Indian head that's in just beautiful condition. So, yep, that's how it goes, doesn't it? The wind is picking up, the thunder's getting closer. I think we're gonna get rained out. But Indian headed penny right there, wheat penny right here. Low and slow is working. My eyes aren't good. I think I see 1943, but that can't be. That was 1952. But don't we live with dreams as metal detectors? Yeah, we do. Well, this came up as the same VDI as an Indian head penny, so I had to dig it. I think that was a pin of some sort. Or maybe a little brooch or something, but that is really nifty. I love it. You know what we're going to call that? We're going to call that jewelry. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, so there is, this is the answer to our question. See those 2 little rivets right there? Those were what held the pin holder. There was a pin right here that went into this holder that held that on. And so that answers the mystery. All right, on to the next. We put that story together. History in the hand, private investigators strikes again. All right, I can tell right now we found ourselves a war nickel. War nickels have a higher content of silver. And this is one of them, 1944. Here in Pennsylvania, this would have been a dull red if it was a regular nickel. So, boy, that is nifty. Look at that. Very nice. On to the next. Well, we got rained out yesterday. We're back again the next morning. The fog has risen. It's nice and quiet. We only got to detect for just about an hour yesterday before we got a real frog choker. I'm glad I got back in the truck just in time. But today we're going back. Oh, by the way, I cleaned up those vehicles that I found, the little cars and trucks, and they are indeed Tootsie toys. So that's kind of cool that we got those little pieces of history. Well, let's get back at it today. I'm really encouraged by what we were able to find yesterday in a place that's been so heavily detected over the years. And I'm enthusiastic about what we might find today. So let's get back at it and see if we can get more history in our hand. See ya on the next hole. Traffic's heavy in town. We're back where the chickens were kicking around. And we have ourselves another wheat penny. Right where everybody has been detecting. 1959, 1955, Denver Mint. Think we've got ourselves another penny signal here. And maybe the guys that detected here before just didn't want to mess with pennies. I mean, that's possible. There it is. And maybe they just didn't want to, maybe they just didn't want to deal with pennies, but I don't care. I'm glad you've joined us. What we learned today, since we're spending the day together, is that 4 brass rivets give us the same signal as an Indian head penny. Yep, thought I had a nickel signal, and by golly, it is a nickel. 63, year before I was born. See how that one looks so red compared to the war nickel that we found yesterday with the silver content in it? You can usually tell the silver ones right away. Winchester, number 12, leader. So that's an old shotgun brass from back in the paper shell days. And there is a wheat penny as well. So, folks, I hope you're getting the idea that even though so many people have detected here, I'm coming along, another 1952. Another 52. And now I'm finding all these coins and all this cool stuff. And it's not like I'm carrying a $1,000 detector. I got a $250 Simplex Plus. And I'm just going nice and slow. That's kind of cool. This is encouraging to me. And I'm getting something there too. All right, I'll bite. Okay, so this is what it was, and it is the second one of these that I have found this week. If you know what this is, please let me know in the comments below. All right, on to the next. The traffic is getting crazy around here. Here's another car. That's like the 4th one in an hour. All right, 1957.
1 coin, 2 coins, 3 coins, 4 coins.
Nice, got ourselves a coin spill. Looks like we've got 2 modern dimes, 3 modern dimes, and a nickel. So, not sure. Let's see what we got for dates. It's 1939. That's a lot older than I thought. But hey, we got 35 cents. That's not bad. Hey, while I have you here, if you're enjoying our hunt together today, I would invite you to come along on some of the ones that we're going to have in the future. How about just taking a second and clicking that subscribe button? That way, more of us can go on these adventures that I have right here in north central Pennsylvania. That is, oh, that's an old button, but it was kind of fancy, and it looks like I might have hit it with my shovel. Don't you hate that? Nice little design. Pretty cool. Ring pull. Could have been a V-nickel. We have a super high tone, but it looks like just a clad quarter. Oh well. But once again, we're finding coins where so many other people have detected, and that's encouraging. Sometimes I get discouraged because I think everything has been taken, and that's just not true.
All right, I've got a little time here in the evening, got stuff put out on the table. Let's take a look at what we got. Hey, if you're still with me, thanks a lot. It really is great having you come along. My goal is to always make an entertaining video that's educational, plus sometimes we never know what we're going to find. So thanks for watching this far. If you've stuck in this long, you're one of the true troopers. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got here on the table. Good boy, Mackie. All right, so I did end up finding this wedge that's been pounded on and mushroomed. And to me, it looks like it was hand forged. So I'm thinking that's pretty old. We found brass rivets. I found 2 of these things that I thought were 410 shells, but as you can see, they do not have a primer cap, and I have no idea what they were. We found our Tootsie toys and axles, found a big piece off of a horse harness of some type. You can see where it's really worn there. We found the lid to our little teapot and lamp parts, bit of lead, drawer pull. Still have no idea what this is. Don't know. Shotgun slug, some lead, copper wire. Found a pewter spoon bowl piece. So that's pretty old. We found our little pin. First we found that part, and then we found the actual pin down in the hole, and a nice little button. And we found push, and so somebody pushed so hard it busted off. That's cool. This is a cool little lock, maybe for a suitcase or something. Found just a ton of wheat cents and modern coins. There's a Zinkin that's 30 years old and already rotten. We found our war nickel with 35% or 38% silver, and this beautiful Indian head penny from 1899. It's so cool. And the cool thing about it is that was all on a very small chunk of ground that tons of other guys have looked at. So by going low and slow, we were able to find a bunch of cool stuff, and actually that was pretty encouraging to me. I've been discouraged to find out that guys walked away with all the cool silver, and indeed they did, but there's still good stuff there if we take our time. All right, well, that's it for today, and I'll remind everybody that if we're not looking for it, we're not gonna find it. See you next time on History in the Hand.